Beautiful spring day in New York City, which has been thoroughly cleaned up. I mean, look at how clean it is. You guess that's really clean. When you have garbage bags oozing on the sidewalk, that's a cleaned up. And across the street, look at this mess. Amazing. That's a cleaned up New York. Look at the government property vandalized on every single block in 5 boroughs. I mean, the cleanliness of this city is just outrageous. It's been so cleaned up. Block still. Whoa. Government property. They did a real good job. I mean, I would say Giuliani pretty much stopped all crime. Government property has only been vandalized endlessly. City is cleaned up. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The New York Times didn't lie. It's clean. I mean, look at how clean. I mean, government's in charge. They're on this stuff. They had the money for the decals, but they couldn't pay for public school. More government property vandalized, while Giuliani and Bloomberg and all the newspapers said they cleaned it up. Wait, let's go to the nearest government property after that. Do you see, if you see one crime on this government property, Giuliani is a failure. If you see one act, count up the Giuliani scandals. Look at how the filth and scum in this gutter. Then you look at the government property, vandalized, vandalized, vandalized. Then you look at the sidewalk. After Giuliani's leadership, more than half the sidewalks, and this is like this all over the 5 boroughs. We are the filthiest major city in human history. Now, either I made this up, or Giuliani lied, and the newspapers lied. Which is it? The whole city looks like a fucking ghetto. I'm still only 2 blocks from my house. I'm just running to the post office to do some errands. Look, if you see one act of vandalism on this government property, Giuliani is the biggest clown in history. If you see any garbage on the streets, then Giuliani lied and the newspapers lied. Look at, they had to get the graffiti off this building here. Wait, let's keep looking. Oh my God, public garbage cans looking good. Oh, government property completely vandalized. Dozens and dozens. I don't think you understand. One crime is scandalous on government property. That's like a person robbing a police officer. Thousands, and there are literally actually hundreds of millions of acts of crime on government property. And no one will tell. Totally different scandal. Hundreds of thousands of scandals all over the city. Giuliani says Mother Nature creates potholes. So let's look. Not a single pothole anywhere here. Mother Nature didn't affect this. Oh, but look what she did here. But wait a minute, you'll notice closely. It wasn't Mother Nature that did that. You can see it's a government patch job that was poorly done and then it was repatched again. That's a man-made pothole. Giuliani's administration created that. Here's a shitty patch job, but at least it lasted. So that they did right. All this decay is Giuliani's fault. And of course, Bloomberg, his puppet. Look at this. All these deviations in the road. Mother Nature didn't do that. Shut up. That was Giuliani who did that. You see, they cut up these. They'll have perfectly good streets and they illegally cut them up for luxury condos and such. It's not even legal for them to cut up a street unless the street's over 5 years old. All the imperfections in the roadways of New York City are all created by the government and Verizon and their friends. Here, that, you can see, is a patch job. That's not the same 2 pieces of pavement. It's a sloppy-ass government job. I'll show you, I don't doctor this stuff. Here's the video here, the streets. We just turned to the nearest government property. I said it before, you think I'm kidding. New York City is the world capital of missing trees. Look at that. How is that legal? How can a blind person not trip over that stump? It's not remotely legal. But when you have the biggest criminal in American history in charge of everything, then nothing is legal. Look at this shitty patch job. Does that look like quality of life? It looks like a fucking ghetto. That's the Giuliani legacy, the world's most expensive ghetto. Intersection, I can't even go do my errands. Look at this. Do you see this horrible potholes? Look, man-made. That's not Mother Nature. That's a giant square rectangle that was cut out of the street. That was created using your tax dollars. Now, they didn't simply create 900,000 potholes. They spent hundreds of millions of your dollars to turn this city into ruinous shit. Look at this. I just turned right here, look. All right, Rudy Giuliani lowered crime so much, you'd be hard-pressed to find a bike that's been robbed or anything. This is what everyone calls a renaissance, where you have broken, vandalized, robbed bikes all over the city. They call that a renaissance. Look at this government property. This one has been painted over many times, but you can still see it was vandalized over and over again. That's why they had to keep painting it silver at a huge expense to me and you, our tax dollars. Republicans believe in spending tax dollars at an alarming clip, even worse than Democrats. It's a nightmare. Unbelievable. I'm just now in front of the post office. I'm just going out to run errands, but I brought the video camera with me. That steel plate is dangerous, illegal, and beyond and on. How long does it take to fix a street? That's been there for what, a year? Look at this. That wasn't Mother Nature. You can see the patch job that was cut in by the government. That was no Mother Nature. The government created these potholes at huge expense to you and me. Hey, let's look at the gutter here. Real clean. If you see one piece of litter, then the New York Times lied. The New York Post lied. Did I make up all this? Did I put all this stuff here, Rudy, to make you look bad? Because you said you cleaned up the city? No, you are a